deal with a split S. You have an enemy plane coming in behind you. You want to get him off your 6. Let's say he has a lot of energy. One thing you can do is roll over, pull back, go 180 degrees, and go back the opposite direction that you came. What that does is a lot of times if he's coming diving down on you is that he's going to have such a great speed that if he tries to pull the same maneuver and stay behind you, then he's going to end up blacking himself out and have quite a greater time of acquiring you. You can do this maneuver at low altitude. You have to pay real good attention of the terrain below you. And let's say we've got somebody on our 6. We're trying to get rid of them. Now I'm going at 600 kilometers per hour. That's way too fast for me to be able to, at this altitude, to be able to avoid the mountaintop that's over here. However, my opponent's going to have the same situation. So what I can do is I can chop my speed, come in, I'm going to fly over the top of this hilltop, and so he's coming in behind me and he's coming down. I'm watching him, he's coming down faster and faster and faster. And what I can do is I can immediately roll the plane over. I've got the throttle turned off right at the moment. I can pull back on it, hit my throttle right through here, and maybe he's coming in behind me trying to do the same thing, but at his greater speed he could come right into that hilltop and crash. I can do it again, do that again as a modified split S, because a straight split S would kill me into the ground. And then he's going to really have a hard time climbing back up into this because he's going to be going so fast he may, you know, plow right into that hilltop. So you can use terrain to scrape the enemy off of you. If you're following somebody and they try to pull one of these split S's, let's say you're coming in like so, and you start to roll with him, you see him start to do the split S, is just simply stay flat and keep an eye on him, looking at which direction he turns, and then when he comes back up, you take a shot at him. Okay, I'd like to talk about strafing ground targets in particular. Let's say we have a target right here at this airfield. Say we have some enemy, maybe this is an enemy airfield that we've taken. Come back around, pick your target, try to get in advance what it is you're going to be shooting at. And say it's right down here by the hangar itself, or this vehicle spawn. And do our strafing. We're going to come back up. This is called a Cuban 8. It's like subscribing to figure 8, where the crossover point where you're making that letter 8 or number 8 is at the point of target where you're doing the strafing itself. Come back over. You can strafe. I did a little rudder kick there. Actually, you're doing the letter 8 or number 8. I'll show you from the outside here. Down, go back up, pick up your target, fire again. It's a kind of a modified Cuban figure 8 or Cuban 8, and that is when I come up is I do a flat. Okay, so what I do is I like to come in, I roll almost like I'm doing a partial leg roll or a rope-a-dope. I come in on the target, I fire, get my shot on it. I like to turn to the left because it's the plane wants to roll that way anyway based to the torque of the engines. And I come in and I'm doing these figure 8s, but as you see now I'm coming from a different direction. So each time it's a different direction, one that they are not necessarily expecting because you're lagging or doing a little lag roll and coming back from another direction. So each time I do that, basically you're making the essentially like a flower petal. So I'm coming out, making a loop off to the side, and again I angle left because that's the direction the plane wants to roll anyway, naturally, because that's the direction the torque is taking it. And so each time I'm coming from a different angle, different direction. It makes it more difficult for them to acquire you, and at the same time, if there's other friendlies in the air, they can also, you know, come in at different angles and stuff and keep them. There's other little things that you can do. One of them is learn to fly relatively low to the ground without hitting it with both your wingtips or your propeller. You want to be able to do maneuvering as such. Get my wingtip in between those trees as opposed to flying over the top of them. The reason why is you can use that to scrape enemy off you, or if you're attacking an FB or an AB in this case, you can use the terrain, trees and things, to keep it from them being able to get a good shot on you. And let's see here. There we go. Me on your 6, you can use the trees and terrain to help scrape them off of you, because you're going to have to go up and over some of this stuff. And sometimes you have to be ready to do different types of maneuvers. Like in that case, I wanted to stay low to the ground but maintain my speed. So what I did was a barrel roll. My speed didn't drop below 300 kilometers per hour, or at least not by much if it did. And I'm able to do gentle maneuvers, maintain my speed. If I go up, I'm trading my speed for altitude, which in turn will translate back to speed again rather rapidly. Here's one other maneuver. It's called a Hartmann escape maneuver. Essentially, let's say you have tried everything, you can't get rid of somebody, and they're on your 6, and they're really trying to shoot you down, and you're trying everything you can to get rid of them. One thing you can do is you can nose down, push forward on the stick, and then you're essentially readying yourself out inside the plane. So you have to be able to try to recover. And let's see if I can get another example of this. As they're behind you, and you just essentially you're maneuvering in the opposite direction that you normally would turn the airplane. Of course, you got to be able to try to recover and not hit the ground, hopefully. So if you're inside the plane and you do one of these, what's going to happen is you're going to kind of red out like this. You don't want to go too long or too far, and you have to kind of fly straight until you come to again. But what it does is he's expecting me to continue off in that other direction, but instead I go this way. If he's trying to pull the other way, he may not be ready forward on the stick, and the plane goes the opposite direction. So he's pulling one way with looking for you, and you're actually so hard on your plane engines because you're pushing oil away from the engine. So it's like flying upside down for a long period of time. But at this point, the only reason why you're doing that particular maneuver is trying to get them off your tail. Let's see, we'll give you one more thing here real quick. On me, and they're trying to get a shot on me, is I'll essentially do a vertical barrel roll and keep them from getting a shot on me, and then I can come back down and go in the opposite direction. And that's just another possibility. I hope you enjoyed watching this video, and I hope you were able to learn something from it, and that it wasn't too long. I enjoyed making it. I hope that I can make some others that people might enjoy too. If you have any other comments, whatever, please feel free to make comments, or if you have any requests, I'll be happy to do that.